Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, thank you for all my newcomers and those who have stuck with me throughout the year. Guys, we have Decola Johnson in the building today. She's going to be cooking with us. Decola, tell us what you're going to be cooking today.
So today I'm going to make some shrimp egg rolls. The ones that's similar to what you would get in a Chinese restaurant with the cabbage.
Ooh, that sounds good. Y'all ready for it? Because I'm ready for it. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it. Decola, I'm going to let you have the kitchen,
Okay.
and we're going to ask you some questions along the way.
All right.
All right? You can have it.
Okay. So I'll let you know what I use to get me started. So I go to Walmart, and these are the wraps that I use. And you can get these from Food Lion. I've seen them in Publix, Walmart. Those are pretty much the three stores that I get them from. Um, don't be discouraged because they do sell really, really fast. So sometimes I go in, I have to go to three different stores in order for me to get them. So that's what I'm going to wrap the egg rolls in. Instead of, I could use a cabbage and cut it, but I decided to go and buy the coleslaw. You can get the one that has the carrots in it, but this one is strictly the cabbage without any carrots in it. So this is what I am going to make the egg rolls with. And then once I've cooked the cabbage, then I'm going to add the shrimp. So I have gone ahead and seasoned my shrimp. And these were the extra large. So I cut them up so that they can fit in the egg rolls because it is a tight space. So I went ahead and diced them up. And I'm going to fry those up. And then I'll go through the next steps once I do that. The seasonings that I used was, it says Lori's garlic powder, but you can use any garlic powder. You don't have to buy this one. They sell them in anywhere. You can get them for $1. Um, Chicken bouillon is my go-to. People may say, why are you using chicken bouillon on shrimp? But trust me, the flavor that comes from this one, and I do like this one because it's not as salty as the other ones that I've tried. But this one enhances and adds a really, really good flavor. It is not salty, so you don't have to be user friendly with it. You can kind of shake it on there and not use anything else if you don't want to. So I also use some adobo. I'm thinking that's right, maybe Adobe. I'm not sure, but I think it's adobo. So I use this very little because this does also have a great flavor enhancer. So you don't want to overpower what you use with the bouillon. So I go ahead and add this to it and some black pepper. And this is the end result. So I am going to go ahead and get these fried up because I do have my oil ready. And then once I fry them up, I will go ahead and add the cabbage and I will walk back over and let you guys watch me make the actual egg rolls. So, so I have my grease down, not too high, because shrimp, they do cook really, really fast. So it doesn't have to be a high temperature. They're great once you cut them up, but as you cook them, you'll know that they're done because they turn pink. So I'll probably cook these maybe about 3 to 5 minutes, and they'll cook a lot faster because they're already diced up and they're not whole. So we'll go ahead and get these cooked up, and then while I'm letting these cook, I'm going to, because it doesn't take very long to actually wrap them, so I'm going to go ahead and cut on my grease so that I can go ahead and have that ready by the time that I wrap them. And then I'm also going to go ahead and open up my cabbage so that I'm able to add this as soon as the shrimp comes up. Now there will be some flavoring still left in the bottom of the skillet once I take the shrimp out, so I'll kind of add some additional flavors with moderation, just to make sure that I'm not overpowering it. But I normally just kind of cook the cabbage the same way I would cook it for a Sunday dinner. It's just shredded. It cooks a lot faster. And of course, you know, when you cook cabbage, it shrinks. So even though it looks like it's a lot, because I do have two bags. So even though it looks like a lot, it's not a lot. But we'll be able to get what we need to get done and get some egg rolls made up so that you guys can see the full process and then see what they look like afterwards. So I have a plate that's here that I'm going to put right there so that I am able to add my shrimp to it once they're done. And I'll bring the skillet back over to show you what it looks like once they're done. So I think I can go up a little bit higher on my temperature so that I can go ahead and get these fried. They smell really, really good.
It does. Thank you.
And of course, you always want to do a taste test to make sure, because the one thing about it is once they're done, you can always add a little bit of additional flavor. But I'm going to taste them, but I probably won't add any more additional flavor to the shrimp because I am going to be able to add some additional flavor to the cabbage so that all come together. So This is a really, really quick meal that will probably go very, very far. Would be a very good hit at just like a small event. Of course, you can do it at a big event as well, but the rolling process, I would recommend you make sure you have enough time. But what you can do is the cool thing about these egg rolls are you are able to make them and then freeze them. So you don't have to cook them the day that you make them. So that's what's cool about them. The only thing is, whenever you are getting ready to store them, I recommend that you wrap them in wax paper, and that's just because the actual wrapper itself gets kind of sticky. And if you freeze them and they're sticky, then they'll stick together, and it messes up the actual form and the shape of the actual egg rolls because you have to tear them apart. Wow. So if you put them in the wax paper, you could just take them out on an individual basis, take them out and put them on your counter, or take them out and let them become room temperature before you drop them in the grease. Because if you freeze them and drop them in the grease and they're not thawed out, the outside is going to cook and the middle is going to still be cold. Wow. So you just want to make sure that you leave them at room temperature before you drop them. So these will be really good and ready to fry because they'll still be hot from me putting the contents on the inside of them. And they fry really, really quickly. I normally use like a deep fryer, but just going to use the skillet today.
So how long have you been cooking, Cola?
I've been cooking maybe about, I'll say about 19 years.
Oh, 19 years.
Yeah, about 19 years.
And do you see yourself venturing out?
I do. I do some catering right now. I do a lot of big family events, and I am possibly looking to go a little bit further, either maybe in a restaurant setting or a food truck.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. So for the 19 years that you've been cooking, tell us a little bit about Decola Johnson, aka Cola.
Just me?
Yeah.
So I consider myself to be a fun person, of course. Very, very people oriented, very, very goal driven. Um, I mean, I just enjoy life. I don't take it for granted. I've seen a lot of things happen to people, whether I knew them or not. And I know that the true saying now that I'm older is you can be here today and gone tomorrow. Like, I don't take that for granted. So I try to live my life the best way that I can. I try to treat people right because I like, and I know how I feel that they didn't treat me. And just try to do right about people, right by people. I feel like it's just a part of who I am.
That's good. Yeah. That's really good. So are you married?
I am. I am married to the most amazing man in the whole wide world. Don't tell my cousins I said that or my uncles. But I am married to the most amazing man in the world. We have been married for 8 years. We have 2 children together. He has a son, and then I have a daughter.
What's the ages?
The son is 30 and the daughter is 22.
Amazing. Yep. Amazing. So let's talk about this apron you got on. I'm looking at this apron.
Y'all see my apron? Look what my apron say. It said, "Catch up with Jesus. Let us praise Him and be relished, because He loves me from my from my head to my toes."
I love
Y'all see
that.
the tomatoes broke out to my side. Yeah, this was purchased on Amazon in multiple colors. If y'all want to buy
it. Yep, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness.
So my shrimp are almost done. And they look really, really good. You don't want to overcook them, but you would know because you put a little bit of oil base in the bottom of it, not a whole lot, and you can see it. And like I said, once I show it to you and bring the camera, I'll try to show you a little bit better. But you'll see like the flavoring contents at the bottom that's going to add to the cabbage while I'm trying to cook it. But I'll turn the temperature up a little bit more for me to cook my cabbage because that's a different consistency than the actual shrimp.
So what inspired you to start cooking?
Well, in all honesty, what truly inspired me was I left my mama's house. So it's either cook or you don't eat. I was not raised on fast food, so I had to learn how to go to the stove. I was a single mom, so money was not always there to do that. So I found, your mom tells you all the time, you got to do this. When you do this, you got to do this. When you get grown, and you're like, whatever. Right. Yeah, money gets real short no matter how hard you work. So I had to budget and do what I had to do, and I found out that buying groceries and cooking it was saving me a whole lot of money versus going out trying to feed myself and my daughter. So I started cooking, but I didn't really. I started cooking to live, but I didn't really start cooking as a hobby and an enjoyment until I lost my mom in 2019, and cooking was her thing. So what I did was I decided that I wanted to start doing some of the things that I knew that she enjoyed, and cooking was her thing. So when I do it, I feel like I'm closer to her. Now she didn't cook this kind of stuff. She was old school, country cooking, yes. Like full meals. She would have ate this, but she would have not gone in the kitchen and cooked it herself. But I decided to start doing stuff and venturing out. But what I will say is my creativity did come in when COVID came, because we were in the house, and I was just trying new stuff. So I started making all kinds of stuff, and then I just kept doing it after COVID left. Right. Now we probably gained about 20 pounds in the process, but it was okay. We were in the house doing nothing. Right. So this is what it looks like, and I don't know if you really can see, but it's some juices that's in here that I'm going to use to cook the cabbages. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out and put them on this plate, so that I can go ahead and fry the cabbages up, and then I'll go ahead and put it together. Awesome. We're gonna let Decola have the kitchen. Yeah. So it's really quick, guys. It does not take long at all. All right. So I will add a little bit more oil, because with cabbage you gotta get that grease in there in order for you to get it to do what it needs to do. And then wow, the sides just to make sure nothing is lingering on the outside, nothing falls even on the stove. And then once this grease gets hot, then so let me bring my seasonings back so they'll be close to me whenever it's time for me to add my cabbages. And I am going to put that bowl in the sink because I no longer need it. So we are going to see. Of course, I'm using a small pan today. I may only be able to get one in here at a time, so we'll go ahead and do this. I'll see how much shrinkage I have from doing that. So
this gonna be good.
So I'm gonna let it cook down a little bit. Okay. So that I can add my seasonings to it. It's not gonna take long at all.
So what if people wanted to reach out to you and they wanted events done, catering type of things? How can they reach you?
So I am on the main platform that I'm on is Facebook, so they can always inbox me on Facebook. And it's just Decola Johnson is my name, and I believe my mom is my picture. Okay. And it is quite a few of them, but it should say Crestwood High as the school, because that was my school. Just some key things to look for. So that would be the best way to get in contact with me. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Absolutely. I'm going to add seasoning to this. I wish I could tell you how much, but I do not measure. I'm used to eyeballing it. So I'm going to cook this down, season it, and then I'm going to add my shrimp back in, and then I'm going to come a little bit closer so that you guys can see me. So I'm adding a little bit of garlic powder. Garlic powder doesn't have salt in it, and if it does, it's not a whole lot. So you can use that and don't have to worry about it. Just a little bit of a dough, because cabbage does not take a lot to season. Right. Not for me anyway. So I'm going to shake a little bit of this and kind of cover the top of it, and then mix it in. Now, I like my cabbage to be cooked. My husband likes his cabbage to have a crunch. Okay. So the way that you cook it and the way that you want the outcome to be is totally up to you. But I like mine a little bit. My husband said I cook the life out of cabbage, but whatever, that's what works for me. every time I take a bite, I need to be crunching. I mean, these are not potato chips.
Oh my goodness. But it's good crunch. It's good. It's good crunch.
It's good crunch.
Both ways. Both ways.
Well, I mean, I guess, and the other part to it is I wouldn't cook this one down as much as I would like a cabbage for dinner because I still have to cook it in the grease when I put it in here. So I'll cook it down enough, and then the grease will cook it the rest of the way. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, not a whole lot, just a little bit of sugar. Um, just because I like that with my cabbage. So I'll add a little bit of sugar to it. Not a whole lot. Just to give it just a little bit of a sweet. Just a little bit. So that's about enough. I didn't even use a whole teaspoon of it. So
Smells real good. Smells real good.
so I think this may have a bit of a baby crunch.
Okay.
So I think probably the most difficult, I'm not gonna say that this is difficult, but the thing that takes probably the most concentration is making sure that you do not overload your egg roll when you're trying to roll it.
Right.
So you need to make sure, but then you want to make sure you have enough because if you don't make it like that, then they're gonna be spring rolls. And we don't want them spring rolls.
I got you.
So I'm gonna show you what this looks like before. So this is what it looks like before. See how the consistency has changed? Yes. So now I'm going to add the shrimp to it. And then once I add the shrimp to it and let that cook in there for a few minutes, we will be ready to go. And you want to put enough in here so that you can at least say, I'm not eating a cabbage egg roll, I'm eating a shrimp egg roll. So you try to do it enough to at least have a couple of pieces of the shrimp. Now I know I go places sometimes and they do the whole egg rolls. I mean the whole shrimp in their egg rolls.
Okay.
And that's okay sometimes, but if I can get you to break it up, it can be two whole egg rolls, but if you break it up and I'm getting a bite in every piece that I bite, that's better for me. Other than that, in the middle of you probably getting the egg roll in the first bite, and then, I mean the shrimp in the first bite, and then the shrimp in the second one.
Gotcha.
Or the last one. So, all right, so we have mixed this up, and it is ready to go, and ready to go into my filling. So I'm going to cut this out, the stove eye off. And I am going to bring my pan over here. And I will show you guys. Put this over here. Right there. And you can add some pepper. It doesn't have to go in there while you're cooking it, but you can just add a little bit of pepper. Now, because I do this so much, I typically know how to eyeball. But I am going to do a taste test to see, to make sure that it's not anything that I'm missing. Or that I don't need to add anything. So I'm going to try to get a piece of shrimp. And you can substitute this and make it with anything. You can do, I've done it before with ground turkey. You can do it with beef. You can do it with anything, chicken, anything you want to do with it. Wow. That is it. It doesn't need anything else. Good. So, we're going to go ahead and do our wraps. So I'm going to take my wraps out. Now there's 20 of them in here. So I normally go ahead and take them out. It comes with a cardboard box or a little cardboard piece right here. So I normally take that out. And then you go ahead, and they're really thin, right? But if you find that it's tearing up, you can always double it up. But of course, you're not going to get as much out of that batch because you'll get, instead of getting 20 egg rolls, you only get 10. So I have this water here because this water is needed. So you take the water, dip it in your finger in it, and you go around it. Go around the perimeters I put it in the shape of a, whatever the shape is. Don't make me lie. Square, turn sideways. You get the picture. Because when you wrap it, you'll be able to see why I did that. So you just want to take a little bit of the content. So right now, you do it maybe about 2 scoops of this, which gave me a pretty good bit. So I'm gonna move this over so you can see. So this is what it looks like. I don't really turn it like I want to. But you take the sides and you fold them in, let them touch like this. And then I normally try to seal my pieces in on this bottom. And then you roll it. You take this corner and you tuck it under whatever it is you have in there. You make sure these are flat. Bring them in. And then you roll it. And there's your egg roll. That's how it looks.
How perfect is that?
So as I roll them, I'm going to go ahead and put them in here so that they can set, so they won't be too hot. And I'll do another one. You put your content in here. Make sure it's good. Roll them together, let them touch. Pinch down your corners so that it doesn't move. Roll it up. Tuck it. Bring this in. And keep rolling off. And there's your egg roll. And this is the process. You'll just continue it. So I probably can get maybe about 4 of these in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do those so that I can fry them up and let you guys see what the end results are. And then I'll have me a taste tester to let me know how well I did. Let's see if they like them.
Guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back from our break. We are now frying up the egg rolls in the kitchen with Decola Johnson, guys. Decola, how long it takes to fry the egg rolls?
Maybe about 2-3 minutes at most. These egg rolls are done and ready to come out of the grease. I just dropped them. And it all depends on your color. I normally don't like mine to be too dark. I like them to just be a real light golden brown. And I'll bring them a little bit closer to show you what they look like. And you just take them out and let them dry, or get a little bit of the excess grease off of them and wait for them to cool. And I'm going to cut open one for you so you can see what the inside of it looks like. So here is our first batch. So here's what my first batch looks like. I'll take one out. So can you see the color on this one?
Yes.
Just a really nice light golden brown to it. This one is a little bit darker. So you can do it a little bit darker if you want, but you don't want it to be too dark because you're only dropping them to cook the outside of the shell. Everything else inside of it is already done. So you don't have to cook them for a long time. So let's cut this open and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, and then we'll let our producer try it and see what it tastes like at the end. So I normally cut mine at an angle, right? And then when you turn it around, that's what it looks like on the inside. See if this one has any shrimp on the inside of it. You can't see the shrimp, but it's, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. But you can't see the shrimp on the inside of it, but it's in there. And guys, that is it. We now have some shrimp egg rolls with cabbage. I hope that you guys will try this recipe. And if you do, please let me know how you like it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, Decola. Thank you for coming
You
through.
are
I
welcome. Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Of course. So maybe you could come through and show us a little bit more, some
Absolutely.
recipes that you may
Absolutely.
have.
I would.
Guys,
It would be
thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll talk soon. Oh, we also wanted to give you a gift. We wanted to give you this
Oh,
coming through. I know I was stuck just for a second. We wanted to give you this
oh,
cup to
thank
say thank you
you.
for coming through and
I
showing
am
your love
always
and
good
support.
for a Yeti. Love them, love them, love them.
Yes, so thank you. Guys, stay tuned for episode 30. I want to say 32. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Talk soon. So we're gonna taste this shrimp egg roll, y'all. Let's try it. The color, that's good. That is good, honey. This is so good. Guys, y'all gotta try her recipe. Just try it. Trust me. Just try it. And also, we wanted to give a shout out to Strawberry Resin for the tumblers. Thank you so much for supporting the show and everybody who has sponsored and had a hand in it. I want to say thank you so much. But guys, please check out Decola Johnson on Facebook. Okay? We'll talk soon.